What is up, everyone? Welcome in. I'm having technical difficulties because, of course, I am, because I'm my own producer and I barely know how to do any of this stuff. But here we are. We're live. We're here. It's. Whoa. Okay. We're live. We're here. And this is the Shecago Bears. I won't make you all listen to the intro again, so we'll just skip that for now. But we have breaking news, as we all know by now. Justin Fields has been traded to the Pittsburgh Steelers. I almost just said the Seahawks, which is not correct. But Fields has officially been traded to the Steelers. And obviously, a lot of Bears fans are in their feels about it one way or another. Some are apparently doing a victory lap, as it appears on my Twitter mentions, and some are sad. And I think in general, I don't think it's anything to be celebrated today. Don't get me wrong. I don't think there's anything wrong in being excited for Caleb Williams. But Justin Fields was arguably the best, most talented quarterback the Bears have ever drafted. And they failed him. And they failed another quarterback, and another one leaves. And I only hope that Justin Fields goes to Pittsburgh and he is able to revive his career. And I think he will. I think he will revive his career, and I think he'll be able to, start at some point. If I place money on it, I think Justin Fields is starting by the end of next season, but we'll get into all that. But first, I'll address some of the comments here. Bear down, I guess. Yo, Alexis, what up? King Alex, what's up? Oh, you're here on Twitch. Nice. I always forget I stream to Twitch sometimes. Hi, Alexis. Props for doing a live. I respect it. Hey. What's up? Yeah, I do go I used to do Madden and Fortnite live on Twitch, but my PlayStation was not working. So that kind of ruined that. Good trade for Justin. We should have just gotten more for a return. I agree. We'll dive into that as well. I do also think that the trade was underwhelming. That was my initial reaction was I'm sad. My second reaction was a 6th round pick, which can be a 4th round if he plays, I think it was 51% of his snaps, or 50%, 51% of the season or whatever it is, but 6th round pick. And I just, I don't know. That one really rubbed me the wrong way, only because like you look at quarterbacks like Sam Darnold. You're going to sit here and tell me that if we had to choose between Sam Darnold and Justin Fields, we'd pick Sam Darnold? We would not. Not in a million years. So I found that what it is, I guess the market was what it is, and I do kind of think in some ways Poles was waiting, or he wanted a higher offer than he got, and this was the best opportunity to finally trade Justin Fields, but I don't know. Bear down from Andrew. Sad to see him go, but I think we should all be excited to see Caleb with a team with a good supporting cast going into next season. I agree. I definitely, and we'll talk about it more towards the end of the podcast, but like I said, there's nothing wrong with being excited for Caleb Williams. And as we go on past today, because this will be our little Fields podcast here, we'll be talking about Caleb Williams. We'll be talking about the Bears going forward and moves they're going to make. Because now the big question mark is the number 9 pick. We spent all off season talking about the first overall pick. And now it's time to figure out what the hell we're doing with number 9. Because there is a lot of potential on the board. And we'll just have to wait and see. But now we get to debate a different topic. But the majority of the show today is going to be talking about Fields and the trade and our thoughts and just kind of talking about Justin Fields, the dude. And then we'll move on to Caleb Williams, most likely. I guess technically that's not final yet. But for now, it is. Well, for now, we'll assume, I guess we should say, that Caleb Williams is going to be drafted. I think that's probably a safe bet, but we can get into that in future. Maybe later this episode, future episodes as well, we can get into who's going to be drafted number 1 overall, I guess. Poles got fleeced. I wouldn't say he got fleeced. I mean, like, At face value, maybe you could probably say that, but at the end of the day, the market was what it was. And whether that's because polls waited too long or because people didn't want to pick up Fields as fifth-year option, I don't know. But he got what he got for it, and I guess it just is what it is. I'm not going to lie, I'm also disappointed in the pick, but I don't know if he got fleeced so much as he just got what they would offer. And I do think he wanted to do best by Justin in the sense of, like, he wasn't going to say no to this trade and have him be, you know, like, not trade for him at all and let someone just pick him up or whatever. So he put him in a good position, and we'll get into that too, on where Fields is going to end up. We got Hose on the 6th round return. They also on Claypool. I mean, yeah, the Claypool one was a bust. So Poles clearly doesn't have any reservations about trading with the Steelers again. Are we sure it's Caleb? I mean, no. Like, there's no way to be sure. He's a rookie. He's never played in the NFL. There's no way we can be sure until he proves it. And honestly, at this point, as a Bears fan, the guy could have all the potential in the world, and I'm not going to be sure until I see us have, like, some playoff wins because, or, you know, you can tell on the field, like you could tell when you're watching Justin Herbert or Patrick Mahomes, like, until one of those moments happens, and Justin Fields had some of those moments. It just wasn't consistent. But, like, yeah, I don't know. I don't think I personally can be sure until we're in the playoffs and the quarterback has consistently played great. But can we be sure it's Williams? No. But do I think he's probably the best option going forward? Yes. I know I've talked about in podcasts I've been on my own podcast, on Twitter, I've said I thought the best thing to do was build around Fields. However, that's not to say I didn't see the other perspective. Like, I understand why resetting the rookie clock benefits the team. I see why you would draft Williams to begin with because he is a potentially like a can't miss prospect. We won't know until we see how it works out. But I get it. And it just kind of sucks that for Justin Fields that he put, like, his all into this team for an entire rebuild, and now he doesn't get to reap the rewards, but that's also the business. So that's just where my, like, empathetic side comes through, and I'm just like, man, that sucks. That really sucks. But at the end of the day, it's a business, and it is what it is. Bag of chips. I know. The trade wasn't fantastic. I want to win so badly. I don't care who the QB is. I want to win. Same. That's my stance. And I know people, like, have said that, you know, you got to pick one side. And anytime I've said I'm happy if we, like, I want to keep Fields, but if we draft Caleb Williams, I'll still be happy. And people are like, you can't say that. You've said you don't like Williams. I never said I don't like him. I said I preferred Fields. But I don't care at the end of the day who the quarterback is, as long as we're winning games. You could throw Roshan Johnson in there. He hasn't been a quarterback since high school, and I don't care if he's winning us football games. That's all that matters, because at this point, this team is built to win. Like, this team is built for contention. I'm not saying we're going to the Super Bowl this year, but this team and the moves Ryan Poles has made, I think, has definitely signaled that they intend to compete and they intend to win. Like, the winning window is now and for the next few years to come. And regardless of that being a rookie quarterback, I think if they draft Caleb Williams, it's because they believe, regardless of him being a rookie, he can win. Well, you know, with the help of the players we're obviously putting around him, with all the vets and the coaches and everything else we're going to have in the building. And this is going to be the probably best situation a rookie quarterback has ever gone into. So there's no reason to not succeed, even if you're a mediocre QB. So, yeah, as long as the Bears are winning games, God, I have like a nose tickle. As long as the Bears are winning games, I don't care who the quarterback is, because I just want to see the Bears go to the Super Bowl in my lifetime. That's all I care about. Well, I've seen it in my lifetime. I want to see them win it. And beat the damn Packers. Jesus Christ. Hey, Steven, how you doing? Welcome in. Go check out his podcast, too, if you guys haven't. It goes live on Twitter, so check it out. I was on one of the podcasts. It's a gameable. Oh, Jesus Christ. It's a gameable. It's a gamble either way by keeping Justin Fields and hope he ascends and hoping Caleb Williams ascends. I agree. And that's also why I understood the argument for Caleb Williams as well. Because at the end of the day, like, it's hard. Would you rather have the bigger gamble on Justin Fields or Caleb Williams? On Justin Fields' side, at least you know he's competed in the NFL and you know at the very least he's starting caliber quarterback. Like, Caleb Williams' worst case scenario is he's a bust. Like, that's worst case scenario. I don't think he will be. I pray to God he's not. But, like, that would be worst case scenario. And that is a gamble because there's a lot of quarterbacks that win Heismans and look really good in college and then they get to the pros and they don't look like that anymore. So it is a gamble, but you're also resetting the clock. And when you watch Caleb Williams' film, like, you know, he's a very talented prospect. And you can only hope that by doing what the Bears did, which is surrounding him with, like, now we have 2 veteran elite wide receivers that could both be number 1 wide receivers. I don't know the last time the Bears have had that. And we have, you know, Swift, we have Herbert, we have Roschon Johnson in the backfield. We're improving the offensive line. I wouldn't say it's top tier. I'm still not 100% confident with it yet, but we're improving the offensive line. So the center is at least going to be better, even if it's one of the, you know, kind of filler people we've picked up here in free agency. Either way, it's still better than what we had last year. So like I said, it's a situation where any prospect should thrive under, no matter the rookie bumps along the way. Let me see, catching up on comments here. How long until DJ? I don't think DJ's asking for a trade. He knows it's a business. That's literally what he tweeted, which I'll put up soon. But he's not going to ask for a trade. He's here to stay. He wants to be a Bear. He wants to win, and he's getting paid. Like, he's not gonna, you know, he's not going to request a trade. He loves Justin, as obviously from the response from a lot of the players, a lot of people do. But a lot of players, even not in the Bears locker room, I was kind of surprised by the amount of players just in the league tweeting about Justin Fields, which once again goes to show how the league perceives, like the players perceive Justin Fields, because it's definitely different than what the media does. But yeah, I don't think DJ's asking for a trade. It's for sure Williams. I like Penix Jr. personally. I get the hype with Penix Jr., but I think if you're going him, you should have just kept Fields. Like, I don't see why you would trade away Fields and then get Penix Jr. I just think that would be silly, in my opinion. Like, he could be good for another team, but you already have that same type of play style in Justin Fields, and Fields is bigger and has experience in the NFL. So I wouldn't do that. But yeah, I agree. I think it's about a 99.5% chance it's Caleb Williams, unless something drastic happens. DJ Moore's not happy at all. He's not happy, that's for sure. And he said that, like, in any interview he's had, he has said that Fields is his guy. He wants Fields to stay. He thinks Fields is better than any rookie coming in. Like, he's voiced his opinions pretty clearly. However, just like all the players, they also understand business is business. Now, will it affect the locker room? I'm not going to sit here and be like, the locker room's falling apart. I don't think that's going to happen. However, I think Jalen Johnson actually explained it pretty well in an interview he did, where he was talking about, like, you know, they all understand a business is a business. They're going to move on. Like, they have to. This is the new quarterback. But, like, Justin Fields was their leader, and Justin Fields was the guy that they looked up to. So it's going to be hard. And this is all what Jalen Johnson said. I'm paraphrasing, but this is what he said in the interview, that it's going to be hard. And basically the rookie has to earn their trust because they don't know if he's going to be good. And he even said it's going to take preseason. It's going to take training camp. It's going to take the first few games and the rest of the season of him essentially proving himself to the team. So, like, is it going to tear apart the locker room? No. But, like, when your leader and the quarterback leaves, that definitely is going to mess a little bit with the chemistry. And, like, I think the start of the season might be a little bumpy again. I think we might have a little more losses in the beginning if I'm doing bold prediction right now. I think the start of the season might have a few bumps, especially with the rookie quarterback, the wide receivers, running backs, offensive line, everyone getting used to him and putting trust that he can put them in winnable situations. But as soon as Caleb Williams, like leads the team down the field for a game-winning drive or something, like that'll boost the confidence of the players in the locker room. But it'll all take time. Ryan Poles should have lost his job already, though. We have a terrible front office. I don't think that. I mean, do I agree with everything Ryan Poles does? No. But also, I mean, I'm not a GM, and I don't know how a lot of this stuff works behind the scenes. And I think for the most part, he's done a lot of things very well, especially when you look at the roster and our cap situation when he got the team and then turned it around. I think the biggest thing you could say he kind of screwed up was Justin Fields, which he played a role in that, which he did what the GM had to do to turn the team around, and I'm glad he did. But it definitely was to the detriment of Justin Fields. And unfortunately, that was the situation Justin Fields was put in, and it sucks, and it was all out of his control. And I'm not saying none of this is Justin Fields' fault, because obviously we didn't see enough of Fields for him to be worth passing the number one pick on. But at the end of the day, a lot of this was outside circumstances that Fields couldn't control, that hindered his growth, hindered the team. It sucked. But Poles did manage to turn the team so far around pretty well. 3 years of horrible coaching. It's not fair that he got traded. I mean, the 3 years of horrible coaching is true. But, I mean, is it fair? Not necessarily. But at the same time, I don't know, not to quote the players, but that's the business. At the end of the day, geez, my hair. At the end of the day, it is what it is. Poles made the decision that he thought was best, not just for the team, but also financially for the team and everything that goes along with that. It's not all about the player himself, but it's also about what puts us in the best situation going forward. Hello, Rome. How are you doing? Welcome back. It's late for you, I think. Justin Fields should have gotten a chance to play under Shane Waldron. That would have been cool, but he also has a new head coach in Mike Tomlin, which is a very good head coach. And he's also going to be sitting behind Russell Wilson, who in his prime played a very similar style as game as Justin Fields. And I think it's going to be good for Justin Fields to have time to just sit back, learn the new offense, learn his new teammates, let Russell Wilson start if there's not competition in training camp. They claim there's not. We'll see what happens. But if he does sit on the bench, I think it'll be good for him to sit for a bit, really learn the offense, watch Russell Wilson operate it, get advice from a vet who has the same playing style as him. And when it's his time to shine, I think he'll thrive. I really do. So we'll see how it goes, but I think he's in a good situation now. Tomlin is one of the best, hasn't done anything with Mitch Trubisky, though. I mean, Mitch Trubisky isn't Justin Fields, though. Mitch Trubisky and Kenny Pickett were only taking the team so far. Justin Fields is, you can talk about his passing numbers and all that jazz, but we all know all the circumstances that happened to him. He is not near his ceiling. And I don't know if he'll ever fully reach his top ceiling because of how bad the Bears butchered it. But he's definitely not even near the top of his ceiling or towards the top. So if he can sit behind Russell Wilson and just really learn the ins and outs and get down, hopefully he has better footwork and stuff with this new offense. And keep in mind, some of this stuff, people want to say it's excuses, but Getsy did slow down the way Justin Fields obviously did his footwork, but also the timing of the offense was meant to be in a rhythm with the flow of the game. It was intentionally slowed, the routes were slower, and I just think that whole system was just screwed up and not meant for Justin Fields. So I really think him even just being in a better offensive system will help. But yeah, I mean, Justin Fields is he does some things that no other quarterbacks besides Lamar Jackson can do. So he has traits that Mitchell Trubisky never will. And I think if he can just hone in on getting the ball out a little quicker and just trusting the throws over the middle like he did when he was a rookie, he'll be okay. We could have had Harbaugh. I mean, he was never coming here, though. The McCaskies were never going to let that happen. Hit the like, y'all. Thank you. I haven't even said it myself yet, but appreciate that. I was actually going to make a graphic for it, and I ran out of time. Tonight was actually my content planning night, and then as I was getting ready to cook dinner, which I haven't even had yet today, I get the notification on my phone. And I was like, God damn. I was like sad, but also I was like, damn, I had my hair like in a bun. I was getting ready to cook. I have sweats on right now. Like, I was not ready to be live today, but it had to happen. I couldn't let Justin Fields being traded happen and not go live. But thank you. Hit the like. Alshon and Marshall. Yeah, that was the last time. Alshon Jeffrey and Marshall was the last time we had a wide receiver duo like we have now with DJ Moore and Keenan Allen. It's going to be sick. As long as both can stay healthy, it's going to be sick. All we can do is trust polls and his judgment. Agreed. Okay, I'm going to pause from the comments for a sec, and I'm just going to show some of the tweets here that we talked about. So these are just some. I'm sure there's been more since I made this, but these are some of the tweets that I'll unhighlight that comment, that came out as soon as the news broke that Justin Fields was traded. Obviously, Khalil Herbert with the melting smiley face. DJ Moore, business is business, like we already talked about. He's probably the least excited out of anyone. He and Fields, as we all know, were very close. DJ had a career year with Justin Fields. So did Cole Kmet. So I'm sure neither of them are thrilled. But like he said, business is business. DeMarcus Walker, today isn't easy, but it's a business. Justin Jones, damn bro, I wish you had a fair shake over there. Cheers to new beginnings. Kyle Pitts, this is crazy business we in. And Travis Gibson, they didn't deserve bro anyway, to be honest. Like, obviously, whether you all share those same thoughts or not with the players, because I know there's some people out there who are like totally would not have been happy if we kept Justin Fields. The players feel differently. The players, obviously, not just on the Bears, but around the league, like Justin Fields, and they see how talented he is. And even Justin Jones's comment that he didn't get a fair shake, I think, and Travis Gibson saying they didn't deserve you, I think goes to show the way the league looks at Justin, or like I said, the players look at Justin Fields, and they can acknowledge the situation he was put in. And I think from a player-to-player standpoint, they have a lot of empathy for Justin Fields, and clearly a lot of them have a lot of feelings on Justin Fields being traded. And I think we kind of knew that from the Bears players' standpoint, but I was a little bit surprised by some of the non-current Bears players tweeting about it. And we do have Justin Fields' post that he made. Who knows if he'll make another. He is currently, by the way, this post that I'm about to show that he tweeted, he posted this when a little bit after the news broke. He's currently, if you guys forgot, in Italy. He's in Milan. And it is, at the time he posted this, it was around like 12:30 a.m. for him. So this was not a phone call to get at midnight. And I'm sure these talks have been going on for a while. I'm sure he knew it was leaning this way for a bit of time. But, he was up at midnight dealing with this and put out the tweet at midnight to address it. So just keep that in mind as you will. But Justin Fields said, "Can't say thank you enough to the city of Chicago for taking me in and embracing me. Thank you to the entire Bears organization and ownership for allowing me the opportunity to be part of such a historic franchise. But most of all, thank you to all my brothers that I played with. You were all the reason I attacked each day the way I did. Can't thank you all enough for what y'all have meant to me over the last 3 years through the ups and downs. I wish each one of you nothing but success, ready for this next chapter." And then he added this thank you in the Steelers gold color. So that was Justin Fields' initial announcement and reaction to him being traded. I wouldn't want to be in Justin Fields' shoes, but at the same time, like he said when he was on the St. Brown's podcast, I'm sure he's just ready for this, or glad that this is all over. Because I know as Bears fans are, so I can only imagine what it feels like to be him sitting this position for the second year in a row and dealing with all this and trying to block out all this noise. So I think he's honestly just relieved it's over. And I don't think he's too upset that he's going to go play for Mike Tomlin. So, and, Russell, that was the other I was going to share with you guys here. Let me throw that one up here. Russell Wilson tweeted. He said, "Let's get it, Justin Fields, QB room about to be fire," with the fire emojis and a picture of them. So, like I said, I think this honestly, as much as the trade talks of Fields to Atlanta and everything happened, I think this was the best situation with him sitting behind, Fields sitting behind Kirk Cousins or some pocket passer isn't going to do him any good. Yeah, it could do him a little good, but sitting behind someone who has the same playing style as him, who's now a vet in the league, who also most likely he's going to replace at some point in the season because Russell's either going to get hurt or they're going to start losing and he's not going to play to his best and Fields is going to get put in. So at some point, I think Fields is going to be starting for that team, and being able to watch Russ and how he operates and everything, I think is the best situation for him. I passed some of the comments. Let's see. Steelers can keep taking our trash. Well, I wouldn't call Justin Fields trash, but I get the analogy. Justin was a great teammate and not a prima donna like Aaron Rodgers. Correct. Definitely is the case there. It'll be interesting to see. And we'll talk about Caleb Williams, like I said. We'll talk about him a ton going forward in the future, so I'm going to keep this more about Fields right now. But it is going to be interesting to see how Caleb Williams' dynamic fits in the locker room. The reports are that his teammates love him. He's a good dude, and I believe all that. But he's just a very different personality from Justin Fields. Fields was a silent leader. I think he was vocal behind closed doors to his teammates, but he was a silent, strong, sturdy leader. And Caleb Williams isn't really the same, which you can't expect them to be, but it's just going to be interesting, the change for the other players and how that's all received. He's also very confident, borderline cocky, so it's going to be interesting, I think, to see how it all I think it'll all be fine, but it's definitely a dynamic change for personality-wise. Tevin Jenkins is disappointed. Yeah, I don't know if he posted something else, but he did post a video of someone crying. So he's obviously, I think, not happy. No player cares when Caleb is good. I don't know. I know your name says troll, but I don't really know what that's supposed to mean. Are you meaning NFL players don't care when Caleb's good? Or I don't really know what that's meant to mean. If it's meant to be players don't care when Caleb is good, they're not going to tweet about Caleb because he's not in the NFL yet. But if you mean they won't care anymore when Caleb is good, the Bears team's players won't if they're winning. They're still going to be friends with Fields, but they're not going to tweet about missing Fields. If they are, something went terribly wrong with Caleb Williams, if that's the case. Keenan Allen is happy. I don't think Keenan Allen, cared either way if it was my guess. Unless, I guess I can't speak to that. Maybe he really wanted to play with Caleb Williams. But I also find it hard to believe that a veteran was stoked about playing with a rookie. As good as Caleb Williams is, I don't think any vet who's getting older in the league and is nearing their last few years in the NFL wants to play with a rookie quarterback. But I think he liked the situation the Bears were in. So no matter who was quarterback, I think he knew they were in a pretty good situation, whether it was Fields or Williams. Bears have to be right on this decision. If they are wrong, it sets us back. That's true, for sure. This is it for Ryan Poles. This decision has to be the correct one. But if he kept Fields and passed on Williams, and Williams ended up great and Fields never improved, then he passed on 2 first-round quarterbacks because no team ever gets the chance to get the number 1 pick 2 years in a row. And the second year we got it wasn't because we were bad. it was because of an amazing trade the previous season that got lucky. A lot of, when you really stop to think about it, like, this is what gets me probably most excited about the future of the Bears and Caleb Williams and all of that, is like, think of how many cards had to fall for this to happen. Like, don't get me wrong. When Justin Fields was drafted, I vividly remember where I was. I remember I was watching it with my partner at the time's family, who were all Packers fans, and my partner's mom came out with a Packers flag from the closet and started whacking me with it when we drafted Justin Fields, because even Packers fans knew Justin Fields was a very good talent. And like, when I was cheering with joy that we drafted Justin Fields and made the trade, they started whacking me with a giant, like the one you put outside your house, like the giant one on the pole, Packers flag. So I vividly remember that. And I was ecstatic. And honestly, Justin Fields has been the most like electric, fun player I've probably ever watched on the Bears, besides people like Devin Hester and, Urlacher. But like, especially at the quarterback position, Fields is by far the most dynamic, insane player I've ever watched on the Bears. Like, he made a team that won like 2 games in 2022 fun to watch. How do you make a team that is losing and tanking fun to watch? I don't know, but he did it. So like, all credit to Justin Fields, and I will always be sad that the Bears screwed this up as badly as they did, in typical Bears fashion. But what gets me excited about the future is like thinking of how many cards had to fall for us to get to this spot. It all goes back to when we started tanking. It didn't just come down to us losing the rest of the games. It also came down to that miracle go for 2 in the end zone, like amazing random play of God that had to happen for them to win the game, for us to get the number 1 pick. And then the trade Poles made, because the Texans were the ones that Poles was initially going to trade with. And that's the team who also got us the first pick to begin with, because thank you, Lovie Smith, who was also a former coach of the Bears, to then have a trade set up, and then for it to fall apart, and the Panthers to GM to be dumb enough to do what he did and give us not only DJ Moore, but then have a team so bad that we get the number 1 pick again. Like, so many cards and so many things had to just line up perfectly for this all to happen, is what gives me the hope that the stars are aligning how they're supposed to for the Bears to finally have another Super Bowl win. That's my hope. He inherited Fields, remember that, so it wasn't Poles' guy. That's fine. I get that, but I never believed that Poles would move on from Fields because it wasn't his guy. Like, I really didn't. I think Poles has said many times how much Fields meant to him, how much he loved Justin Fields. I think this was purely a business decision based on money, based on not having Fields proven enough by this point. I don't really think it ever came down to like, screw it, I want my guy. Like, I really just don't think Poles viewed it that way. Is Flus the right guy? I've got questions about him. I mean, fair and same. Is he the right guy? I think that's hard to answer right now. I also think it's too soon to call him like a bust of a head coach because of how much he did turn the team around. And also, like, you never know, right? Like, you don't know if maybe this is a diamond in the rough the Bears found in Flus. I'm not saying he's going to be Bill Belichick, but maybe he ends up being like a really solid head coach for like many years, and maybe we do win a Super Bowl. And I don't know about you guys, but his new do screams, I'm the best head coach in the NFL. Like, he is looking dapper, and he's like, I am ready to go. We're winning the Super Bowl. Like, when I saw his new haircut and his beard and all that, I immediately imagined the Lombardi in his hand and him passing it off to whoever the quarterback was for our Super Bowl rings. So I think the new do says it all. We're going to the Super Bowl. It's only a little after 2 a.m. Rome. I mean, it is a Saturday, but go to bed. I mean, thank you for joining, but go to bed. It's 2 a.m. I don't like that Justin Fields is his enemy now. Well, luckily he's not like in the NFC North or something, so we don't have to actively root against him. Do we even play the Steelers this year? Because I know the games we play came out. Obviously, the actual schedule didn't, but our opponents did. I don't know if we actually play the Steelers or not this year. If we do, that'll be an interesting one, and I hope Fields is in for it. But I agree. I don't like that and I'm not going to root against him. Obviously, if the Bears are playing him, I want the Bears to win. But, like, in terms of his career, I'll be rooting for Justin Fields the rest of his career, for sure. You know what? As a matter of fact, let me throw my little... We have Justin Fields here, and we'll put him over here so he can be... Oh, I put it on the wrong side. There we go. So he can be seen. There's our Justin Fields. Has entered the chat. Have a little Funko Pop of him. So, in memoriam. Not in memoriam. That sounds really bad. He's not dead. Was definitely victory lapping and saw your post from last night. Now feels weird to victory lapped after seeing Caleb weirdos say that shit. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I don't think we can say it was all, like, Caleb weirdos, technically. I have no idea who was all involved in that, and I'm not going to, like, delve into it here on this live. I kind of want to just, like, move past it. But, yeah, that was something that has been going on for, like, essentially the entire offseason, and it was disgusting. And, Twitter didn't really do much about it, so I did. So don't mess with me is the message of that. But no, I'm just kidding. I'm not trying to encourage anything. But yeah, unfortunately that happened, but we're just going to move along now. But yeah, it was definitely a little messed up for sure. Steelers have upgraded their QB room for next to nothing money-wise. Yeah, I mean, they're still going to have to probably pick up Fields' fifth-year option, but like, at the end of the day, I think they know exactly what they're doing. They're having Russell Wilson start. They're taking a bit of a gamble on Fields, but I also think they're not planning on playing him right away. They're going to let him sit behind Russell, and then they're not going to keep Russell beyond this year, and they're going to plan for Fields to start, which I think means they expect for him to play at some point this year. This is all totally my thought process. There's no, like, facts or sources behind this, but I think it's kind of laying the blueprint, I think, for what their kind of course of action here is going to be. The Bears should have fired Matt Eberflus too, since they wanted a new QB. I don't know if they should have fired him. I think it would have been too soon to fire him and a little tricky to change your quarterback and change your head coach for a team that's trying to compete right now for the playoffs. But I get the argument. Like, it is kind of a little bit mind-scratching on why they kept Flus when they were just going to get a new quarterback anyways. All I'm going to say is I hope it doesn't fall into the same cycle where Caleb Williams most likely has a new head coach in a year, because that would suck. Justin Fields was the leader in that locker room. Everyone respected him. Yeah, true. And I talked about that a little bit earlier, so it's definitely going to be an adjustment for the players for sure. I wouldn't want to be called Caleb Williams right now. I think you meant Caleb. But also, why? I think he's pretty excited, to be honest. Like, he wants to be the number one pick. I don't think he cares what team he goes to. But also, there's no way you can't be in Caleb Williams' camp or be Caleb Williams and not be excited about, like, as much as the Commanders is his hometown, if he wants to go to a team and he wants to win right now, the best team to go to is the Bears. Like, we are building a team efficient for a rookie quarterback, and I think you look at some of Poles' moves, and he's done some stuff now in hindsight, probably intentionally, to make sure as many resources are there as possible so that this rookie succeeds. Thank you, Justin. Yes, let's add our thank you, Justin banner, because Justin Fields, you were a legend here. Your highlight reels are unbelievable. I really thought you were QB1 forever. And honestly, had we not had the number one overall pick, you still would be QB1 and probably would be the rest of your career, is what I think. Unless something happened where he really didn't improve in the next, 2 years, I think he would have been locked in as the quarterback of the future. It was just a bunch of part of it was his play, but a lot of it was circumstances outside of his control and timing, honestly. Let's see. Justin Fields is going to play. Pitt has to decide if he is the future. Wilson is a bridge at this point. Yeah, I pretty much agree. I think Russell Wilson starts, but at some point Fields is going to be in. Caleb Williams right now? Okay, that's what I figured you meant. Back in January, when all the drama was happening between Denver and Wilson, I commented that pairing Wilson with Fields might be something to contemplate. I was laughed at for saying that. Well, look at you. Kudos for being right. And I agree. Like I said a few times now, like I think when you look at Justin Fields' situation, it's a pretty good one he's going into. I don't know everything about the Steelers roster, admittedly, but in terms of their head coach, in terms of the veteran he's going to be shadowing for a bit and then getting his opportunity to shine. Like I think it all lines up right there. With Caleb being the new kid on the block, I think most of the vets will love him and step in as the leader until Caleb goes comfortable. I mean, I agree. I'm sure. And I also don't think Caleb Williams is going to be, I guess we'll see how it all shakes out. I don't think he's going to be a captain when he first starts. Then again, when Fields came in his rookie season, he was not picked as a captain, but he also had Andy Dalton and Nick Foles ahead of him and was never meant to be the starter. And for whatever reason, Nagy decided to just skip Dalton, go straight for Fields instead of having Foles step in when he should have, because Fields had never gotten first team reps, or that's where it all started with Justin Fields and them screwing everything up. But it is what it is now. But yeah, I'm curious to see. I guess, I don't know, CJ Stroud was named a captain his rookie year, but because he was the clear starter, so maybe it will be the same for Caleb Williams, but I guess we'll see. They vote on it in the offseason. But yeah, I definitely think the vets will step in and take a lot of the leadership, which is why Poles is making the moves he is. Caleb is walking into one of the best scenarios possible. This is now a playoff team. Yep, agreed. And I think anyone who says that the Bears aren't, we shouldn't have playoff be the expectation because it's going to be a rookie quarterback. No, I completely disagree with that. I think this team we can't not make the playoffs again. We are one game away from making the playoffs this year. And on top of that, had we not blown the lead for 3 games, we had the potential to winning the division. So no, the expectation for the team this year has to be going to the playoffs, regardless of who's at quarterback. So that has to be the expectation. And I think Poles is purposely making all the moves he is to get as much help around the rookie, as much veteran presence as he can. And he's paying up because he is in a win now window. And same with Matt Eberflus. Matt Eberflus can't have another losing season. So I think it's got to be the playoffs this year. Caleb is also the barking type, while Fields was silent worker type. I'm excited to finally get a loudmouth QB for a change. Like I said, it's going to be different. And I think there's going to be parts of Caleb Williams that I like about him probably being a little more chirpy on the field and stuff. And maybe he'll be the type to rile the guys up on the bench. I don't know. That wasn't Fields' MO, but he didn't need to be because the teammates loved him and they riled behind him regardless. So it's all different leadership styles, but yeah, they're definitely different. Shane Waldron on offense. Eberflus can concentrate more on the defense. This is a playoff team now. Let's go. Yes. Flus is still calling the defensive plays though, so he's got a lot of stuff he's got to account for here on game day. God bless Lovie Smith. Honestly, I should have added a picture of Lovie Smith in here. The beard is great on Flus. It is, honestly. He gave credit to his wife for the makeover, so credit to Mrs. Flus, because now he looks like a Super Bowl winning head coach. And the picture of him sitting next to Matt LaFleur on the courtside seats. Super Bowl. I have to be honest, I'm shocked by this. Caleb Williams needs to be incredible for this to work. I'm not shocked. I think as much as people okay, I have said I thought the Bears were going to keep Fields. I've also said that was my preference. I've also said I'm not going to deny the signs are pointing to the Bears drafting Caleb Williams. Some of my tweets are satire, guys. Some of them, I know some of you aren't going to believe me and say, oh, now you're making excuses. I swear, some of them are sarcastic and satire. Jeez, can't even say it. But satire. But, like, there was some truth to me thinking that, like, this is getting a little weird. Like, why hasn't Fields been traded? Like, that was true. That was like, what's going on here? Maybe we are keeping him. But some of it was just complete satire. But also, yeah, I'm not shocked. It kind of seemed like it was heading this direction. It just kind of sucks because I'm a Fields gal. But now I'll be both a Fields gal and a Caleb Williams gal. And that's not because I'm in the Fields cult. It's because I just really like Justin Fields as a player. Like, I just really do. He's genuinely one of my favorite players I've watched at the quarterback position just because of how electric he is. And people like him, I watch Josh Allen when he's on. I watch Patrick Mahomes. Like, I just like watching these players. So I'm going to continue to watch Justin Fields when he's on. I meant my enemy because Steelers suck. Fair enough. But I guess you're going to have to buy a... You don't have to buy the jersey, but I guess you're gonna have to either choose to root against Fields or choose to like the Steelers on games days when they don't play the Bears. That's a toughie. I would bet the Fields will be the starter by the 10th game for the Steelers. I think that's a good bet. The 10th, yeah, I think the 10th game, by then he's going to be the starter too. Probably. We don't know if Bears will draft Caleb Williams. It could be one of the other 2 or 3. I agree. And that's why I said in the beginning of the podcast, like, in future episodes, we can talk about the other potential candidates and draft prospects. But I think, at least my point of view, and I think the majority, is Caleb Williams is being drafted. I do like Drake May, but for some reason his stock is really falling. I think he's going to be one of those quarterbacks that, like, his draft stock falls. He gets drafted later than anticipated, and then he comes out and plays really well, and people go, why did he drop? Like in 2 years. So I don't know. I'm a Drake May fan, but I also think he needs to be drafted to the right position because he needs to sit behind someone, work on his footwork and some other things, but he's elite in a lot of aspects. And in some categories, he's better than Caleb Williams. But this is all in college, so we'll see what happens. But I think it's a pretty much guarantee that the Bears are drafting Caleb Williams. Gonna miss Justin Fields on the Bears? I mean, same. Like, already seeing the mock-ups of him in a different jersey sucks because, yeah. Like I said, he was one of my, like, favorite players, honestly, over the years. Like, Justin Fields was someone who got me excited in Bears football again. I will always be a fan of his, and it is really sad going to be seeing him play in another stadium, another fan base rooting for him in different jerseys, him, like, talking about the city of Pittsburgh. I haven't even been to Pittsburgh. I don't know what's over there, but yeah, I'm bummed as a Bears fan. I guess I shouldn't say as a Bears fan. As a Bears fan, I understand it, and I'm excited for the future of the Bears. I think we're set up pretty nicely here going forward. But yeah, as a Fields fan, this one stings. It stings for sure. Sorry, Justin, you're going down. Fair enough. Don't forget, Eberflus has a defensive coordinator was a defensive coordinator prior to becoming the Bears head coach. How can he now concentrate more on running the Bears defense along with being the head coach? He can now. Wow, I butchered that, and I'm really sorry. Yes, he can now focus more on being the head coach. The only hiccup is on game days. He does have to pay a lot of attention to the defense and game plan and call the plays and, scheme the defense and also take the responsibilities of the head coach. However, he did pretty well at it last year, and now he has some more help with having an actual defensive coordinator, again, like you said. So I think we're going to be set there. And I support Flus still calling the defensive plays. There's not a single thing any QB in this draft does better than Caleb. That's not true. I'm not saying there's like 15 things May does better, but there are some categories that May excels in, like more so than some of the other prospects, including Caleb Williams. It's not enough to bump him up because in a lot of other fields, Caleb Williams is better. But Caleb Williams isn't perfect. he has flaws. Like he's not a perfect quarterback, and I think we also need to make sure being excited, but also tempering expectations a bit, because us Bears fans tend to do that with quarterbacks, and it hasn't ended well for us. I think we need to give the kid room to grow. He's going to have rookie moments. He's going to probably have moments with the media and in the locker room where there's going to be rumors. There's going to be stuff about him and responses from players where they're asked, how is his leadership? And a player goes, I don't know. Like, I don't really know. And then people are going to run with that because, we just got to pump the brakes a little bit, but also I get the excitement right now. Will the Bears trade down from their 9 pick to get 2 or more picks in the first 2 rounds? I think so. That's my bet. If I was going to bet on it, I would say yes. And I've said that for months now. Like, honestly, I've said that unless the Bears were keeping Fields, we're trading down from 9. And I could be wrong, because on one hand, I would not be upset if we drafted, like, Odunze, or if by some miracle Marvin Harrison Jr. is still there. Like, I'm not going to be mad if we draft one of them. Or, like, a top edge or offensive lineman. I would be fine with it. But we don't have a lot of draft picks, and we don't have any picks between rounds 1 and 3, which is what I've said. And then everyone told me, no, we're going to get a second for Fields. And I said, we don't know that. And even if we do, that's still not enough picks. And look at this. We did not get a second for Fields, and we still have no second round draft pick. So we pick at number 1, which we already know is Caleb Williams. So let's just cross that one off, or whoever the QB may be. So we have number 9. And then we have round 3, pick number 75. I personally, and then after that, we traded away a 5th round pick. So we have, 2 fourths? No, we have a 4th and a 5th now from trading Fields. So, no, a 6. Even worse. Okay. So, yeah, knowing Poles' philosophy is built through the draft, I have a very hard time believing Poles is going to keep the number 9 and draft there and then not draft again till round 3. And then if he does that, it's almost like he has to trade the round 3 draft pick back, and if he wants to accumulate more draft picks. So I don't know. I think I think the Bears are trading back from 9. That's my bet right now. If I'm wrong, I'm not going to be upset, because I'm happy because that means we're getting like a high-end talented player, but I think we're trading back. What's odd is it feels like this move for Caleb is still a risk. Gotta trust Poles, though. Yeah, I mean, because it is. Like, at the end of the day, there's no certainty here. Like, we have no idea. Just like there was no certainty that Justin Fields would improve, though you could almost say that there's a pretty high chance, because of the talent we were putting finally around him, if that would have been the case. Unfortunately, he didn't get that. But this is definitely a risk. Like, there is no guarantee Caleb Williams is going to translate to the NFL. I hope he does. I think he will. But there's no guarantees. So at the end of the day, it's still a risk. The worst scenario would be Caleb Williams is a complete bust and Justin Fields has a great career. Which, I mean, I'd be happy for Justin Fields, but as a Bears fan, that would be worst case scenario. I don't think it'll happen. But that would be worst case scenario, which is why there's still risk to it. We basically have 2 specialists in Waldron and Eberflus on each side of the ball now. No, for sure, we do. I bet most of the team will be iffy about Caleb until he starts throwing in practice, and then they'll hopefully be like, oh wait, he's the one for real. I don't think it's going to happen in practice, to be honest. Like, I mean, I think they'll get along, but like, until they're like, oh, he's the real deal for sure. Keep in mind, these are dudes who have been playing in the NFL. Like, they're not going to be wowed by a few good throws. Justin Fields had a cannon for an arm and could do, sidearm throws and was Houdini in the pocket with escaping sacks. Like, he's not, they're not going to be wowed by a few throws. They're going to find it impressive, and they're going to talk to the media, and they're going to be like, yeah, he's looking great. He's got some really good throws, and how's his leadership? Oh, yeah, like, it's good. Because they're going to give the generic answers because they have to. The same way the players did with Fields when Fields was a rookie. I think it's going to take, some games, winning some games. It's going to take, like, a few times of Caleb Williams, like, being kind of like a stud in a game or 2 or 3. Who knows how many? And then it's about trust. Like, they have to trust this dude can carry the team and lead them, because even the defense have said, like, they view the quarterback as the leader. So it's going to take time. It's going to take time. They're going to say all the right things to the media, but it's going to take time for the team to fully, like, gel and trust the new rookie quarterback. But, like, look what CJ Stroud did. Like, not saying I think this is what CJ Stroud did is an anomaly. If Caleb Williams can do that, I will be thrilled. Don't get me wrong. But what CJ Stroud did is not common. However, like, him playing well, winning games, like, the locker room instantly rallied around him. They're like, this dude is the deal. The same thing will happen here when the time comes. May is my QB4 in this draft. Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, JJ McCarthy, May. I would not put JJ McCarthy before May. JJ McCarthy, I think, can be good, but he is way, way too green. He does not have enough experience. His throws at the combine were, like, iffy. Not that it all comes down to that, but, like, I think he probably will be a good NFL quarterback, but he's a quarterback who needs to sit behind someone for a while. And I think May's a little more starter ready than JJ McCarthy. And also, we haven't really seen JJ McCarthy, like, throw that much. May has shown it in games and, showed his athleticism and escapability. And he's throws with his left hand. Like, no. In my opinion, I would never put JJ McCarthy right now before May in terms of drafting. In the future, could one be better than the other? Maybe. But where I would draft them if I was a GM, I wouldn't draft JJ first. Before May, at least. That's why you unfollow the Bears? I still really don't think so. Like, is it possible? Yes, but I really do genuinely think, like, he didn't want to see anything. Because we see it every day on social media. So imagine being the dude being talked about every single day. Like, I don't blame him. In 2025, what's happening in 2025? 1, 9, 3rd, and 4th. Yeah, so, well, and the 6th round pick for Justin Fields that we got. So that's not exactly building through the draft, because you essentially have to cross off that number 1, because we already know that's a quarterback. So we have 9, 3, 4th. I think we're trading back. So do the Bears have Bagent as the backup QB? I would assume so. They brought in, I'm blanking on his name already, a veteran quarterback that I think is going to fill good old Nathan Peterman's role. But yeah, I don't think the Bears want to let Bagent go. I don't think they want to risk him going on a practice squad, which is also why I didn't really think, besides I didn't think it would be a good scenario for Justin Fields to play backup to Caleb Williams. I thought that was a terrible idea. I also was like, there's no way the Bears are going to risk putting Tyson Bagent out on the practice squad for other teams to pick up just to end up trading Justin Fields. Like, the Bears value Tyson Bagent as the backup. I could not see them doing that. Ripen. Yeah, that's it. McCarthy's Harbaugh's system was constrained. Yeah, exactly. And I mean, a great head coach and a good system. So, like, I don't doubt the kid will be good, but didn't see nearly enough to draft him ahead of Drake May. May and JJ have a similar skill set. May is reckless. JJ knows his limitations and is efficient. I don't really think so, though. Like, JJ was on a much better team than May was. And May was kind of, same with Caleb Williams, was kind of carrying the team a lot of the time. And May made a lot more, like, bold, athletic moves and throws to make things happen. So, and he throws into some really tight windows, which we have not seen if JJ can do that. May also has arguably the deepest cannon of an arm in the draft. And it's accurate. Trade up for Marvin Harrison Jr. at 25 first and 2025 third would be the best in the NFL. Caleb would flourish. I mean, yeah, but I don't see Poles doing that, to be honest. I think Poles will probably trade 9 back, get one of the wide receivers in the second round, and probably try to get another third round pick, and try to get edge and offensive line. He might trade that 4th pick back and try to pick up some more like depth at offensive line or other positions. Like, that's my guesses. But I mean, we can do a podcast about the, draft and everything else later on. We have plenty of time. Well, sometime. It's like a month away. But yeah, we can dive into all that and give our predictions for the draft. I can even maybe do like a mock-up. What's up, Alexis? Big time fan of yours. Keep up the great work. Thank you. Appreciate it. I don't have the graphic because I didn't have time to make one, but hit the like button if you guys enjoy the live. I appreciate it. Also subscribe if you enjoy the content. I plan to start doing more routine podcasts here. I had some life events happening, a lot of them. But yeah, we got Shecago Bears podcast coming at you from all angles. So we're gonna be here all off season. I forgot to put my banner up this whole time, so that's cool. But yes, we are gonna be doing some live shows, so subscribe. I plan on doing most of the podcasts. In the past, I did them pre-recorded, but I plan to do them mostly live now. So we're gonna have live shows more frequently. Where's the kitties? It's been so quiet. Yes, I do have 2 cats. I have an orange one and a black one. And Rome, you might have just jinxed it because they're very quiet right now, and I'm not complaining because sometimes they like the attention and they want to make themselves seen in the show. So also, I'm sorry I keep touching my hair. I normally don't this much, but like I said, I had my hair up and it's frizzy and it's driving me nuts because it keeps like tickling my neck. So I don't mean to keep like messing with my hair, but it's tickling me and it's driving me insane. May is Cutler. He knows his arm is good and he relies on it, but it's going to get him in trouble. Maybe, pun intended. But I don't know. I think it's way too soon to tell with that. Like I think we got to see him in an NFL offense with an NFL coaching staff and roster and kind of see how it all shakes out. Because if he's in the right spot and they can actually develop him, I think he could be better than a Cutler. But, we have to wait and see. We do this. So it'll be interesting, but I mean, like I said, we could do a show talking about the draft and our little mock-ups and everything. Oh. Look on the bright side, we can now deep dive on how Shane Waldron and Caleb Williams will mesh. Rome falling to 9 in the hands of Jim Harbaugh, and the man is a lunatic. Really interesting situation. I agree. And I'm excited in the future to talk more about Caleb Williams and, the future of the Bears, the number 9 pick. It's going to be fun following like training camp, and we will have a rookie quarterback now. So, we'll have more to pay attention to when that time comes around before training camp begins, when the rookies come in first. So that'll be fun. It's going to be interesting. But, at the end of the day, this was, whoa, what did I do? That was a great angle. But at the end of the day, this was about the breaking news of Justin Fields being traded. So I want to end by touching on Justin Fields, and that was phrased weird. And just saying that, I obviously, if you follow me, or if you hate follow me, whatever you do, that I'm a big Justin Fields fan, and I will always be. Like I've already said, he was one of the most fun players for me to watch, and I will continue to watch him when he's on other teams. But I'm a Bears fan, so I'll be rooting for Caleb Williams. I'm going to be excited. We're going to talk about it. But I just really think, I won't hash into all what happened to Justin Fields because we all know the story, right? We know his rookie season. We know the complete roster tear down in year 2. And then even year 3, all they really upgraded was DJ Moore, and the offensive line, he didn't even play with a consistent offensive line until week 12 or something crazy like that. Week 15, something. So he definitely did not get his fair shake here. He deserves better treatment than he got. He deserved the roster that's here now. And unfortunately, the way the cookie crumbles is he's not going to get it. And part of that is also just poor timing, because I do genuinely believe, had we not had the number 1 overall pick, Fields would still be here. He would be QB1. And assuming there's improvement, we would have him locked in for the franchise QB. Like, I really do believe that. So I really hope for his success. I think there's a portion of Bears fans that will like appreciate him for a while. And I think there's even some fans who maybe were super, super into the Caleb Williams hype train well before Fields was traded that, you know, if you give it some time, we'll come around and like appreciate Fields more now that he's gone, you know, because that's kind of how it works, right? But Fields was, and still is, without a doubt, an electrifying player. Like, electrifying, and still has very high upside. Like, let's not forget, he's 25. Like, he just turned 25. He still has a ton of potential to reach. And now, yeah, like this comment here, Pittsburgh was the best spot for him, wish him the best. It was. Like, going here, learning behind Russell Wilson, a player who has the same play style as him, a veteran in the league who's won a Super Bowl, like, he can really get some valuable knowledge there. And, you know, not being thrusted into another bad situation and giving time, bearing any injury to Russell Wilson or, you know, like, decision by the team to start Fields, he'll have time to sit and learn and watch and, you know, actually hopefully enjoy his time, not feel this constant, he'll feel pressure of trying to get the QB1 spot, but like, you hopefully won't feel this constant pressure of trying to prove himself, because it's just a fresh start, new team. And when he competes for that starting job, which, you know, at some point he will, and he will start eventually, I think he's going to shine, and I think he's going to flourish, and I hope he does, and I hope he stays healthy, and I hope that one day when the Bears play him, I hope the Bears win, because I am a Bears fan first and foremost, but I hope it's a shootout. Like, I hope if Caleb Williams and Justin Fields are playing each other on Monday Night Football or something, I hope it's just a complete, like, elite show out. I hope Justin Fields rushes for, like, 100 yards and Caleb Williams throws for, like, 350 and I don't know, and it goes till, like, double overtime. Like, I hope it's something sick. And that Justin Fields finally finds a place where he can be, like, the franchise guy. And I also don't think Pittsburgh would have really traded for Justin Fields if they didn't think that he could be Russell Wilson's replacement. I really think they do view Russell Wilson as like the bridge, and their hope is that Justin Fields can be the guy going forward. They get him for cheaper, and then they don't have to draft another quarterback. They don't have to trade for another one. They can have 2 solid quarterbacks, and when Russell Wilson is done after this year, Justin Fields can be the guy going forward. And I really think that's their hope. And I'm just really excited for Justin Fields having a fresh start. I think it's needed, honestly. I think after all of this, like, the dude's been through it, and he's handled everything with, like, grace and poise and professionalism. The dude deserves to go to a team that, you know, like, have a fresh start over, and get his bearings, and just enjoy playing football again. And hopefully not have to ever work under Luke Getsy again, because I just really don't think those two meshed on a schematic standpoint. If the Steelers make the playoffs before the Bears do, Ryan Poles and Matt Eberflus will be fired. I don't necessarily know about that. I mean, I think Ryan Poles and Matt Eberflus wouldn't be fired if the Pittsburgh Steelers make the playoffs first. I mean, it definitely wouldn't look good. Like, it wouldn't for the Bears, but I don't think they'd be fired, because I think Kevin Warren, unless this came from the McCaskies, because I think Kevin Warren pretty much signed off on what Ryan Poles is doing, because they said they were working hand in hand together. So I really think they were, I think it would have to come from the McCaskies for that to happen, but I won't deny it wouldn't look good. It would not look good for the Bears or Ryan Poles if Justin Fields and the Steelers go to the playoffs before us. But we'll see how it all shakes out. It's going to be interesting. I mean, hey man, this guy right here, He's an OG. He was here for a good time, not a long time. And I really did have hopes that he would be the quarterback of the future. I mean, like an outstanding character person, regardless of what you think of him as a football player. Character-wise, outstanding character. I'm glad we got to have him in Chicago and got to watch him. And I really, really do hope he has a very successful career. And I think he should, and I think he will. But unfortunately, it's not going to be on the Bears anymore. And as a Fields fan, I'm sad about that. But as a Bears fan, I am excited about the future, which is really all we can be. So, you know, the news was sad. But like I said, going forward, we'll move on. We'll talk about Caleb Williams. We'll talk about the Bears. And we'll go from there. And I think it'll be a very exciting offseason, and hopefully not nearly as dramatic now that the QB situation is out of the way, because I know I'm not the only one when I say we were sick of it. Like, enough was enough by this point. But hopefully going forward, it's a lot more fun. And I also hope the people, I hope the people who are very, very into Fields can start getting excited about Caleb Williams and start looking forward to the future of the Bears. And I also hope vice versa, the people who were like super into Caleb Williams and were saying that Fields is trash and isn't a good quarterback can take a step back and like just appreciate Fields for what he was. And Fields is not trash. He's not a bad quarterback. He is a starter in the league, and he still has time to grow. And hopefully the right team will help him do that. And I hope it's the Steelers. And yeah, I think hopefully both sides can just kind of settle out. I don't think anyone needs to be doing victory laps or anything, because like I said, there's nothing to celebrate about Fields being traded. It's a joke on the Bears' part for failing another extremely talented quarterback. Not saying it's all on them, like some of it is Fields, but obviously a lot of outside circumstances around him that he had no impact on, that he couldn't change. So, I don't think we victory lap. It's sad that Fields is gone. He was an outstanding player. He was really good in the community. He really was. I think he did a lot of stuff behind the scenes that people didn't even know about for the community. So it really sucks to see him go. But yeah, I just don't think it's anything to victory lap. I think it sucks and it's sad, but we can just be kind going forward and hope that he has a successful career with the Steelers, and be excited about the Bears' opportunity to draft, most likely, Caleb Williams, and have a good, hopefully next 10, 15 years here in Bears land, and actually win a goddamn Super Bowl again and beat the mother, to quote Tom Grossi, because Lord knows he's a Packers fan. He's a great content creator, but he says the mother-loving Packers, we're going to whip the mother-loving Packers ass. All right. That's the new plan. The team expectation is playoffs. My expectation is beat the Packers. Because as you might see by my shirt, I'm currently a Bears fan living in Wisconsin. We need to beat the Packers. It needs to happen for my mental sanity. Has to happen. And not just one time. No, next season. This season, twice. Both times we play them, I want them beat. If we both end up in the divisional playoff, I don't even know. Beat them. Beat them. That's all I care about. That's all I care about. Mark, it's great to have you back. Thank you. I appreciate it. I didn't mean to take as long as a break as I did. I had some stuffs to figure out with a lot of things, but I'm here. And I'm back. Oops, ow. I just bumped my funny bone. I think Justin Fields will be the starter for the Steelers starting game 1. They have to decide by year end if Justin Fields serves the contract. I don't think he'll be starter game 1. I think the Steelers were honest when they said Russell is the starter, but I do think he'll be starting by the end of the season. My kitty's depressed that Justin got traded. Finn and Leo were sad earlier, but now that they've had food, they've kind of moved on. They just move on quickly like that. Finn and Leo, anyone new tuning in, are my cats. So they were sad at first about the Justin Fields trade, but as soon as I gave them some food, they were kind of over it, because that's all they care about, really. Food and toys. But guys, Justin Fields is no longer a Bear. And I still have two Fields jerseys. I have it in the navy blue and I have it in orange, and I'm not getting rid of them because, like I said, I'm still a fan. So we're gonna keep our Fields jerseys, and I don't know. I'm not gonna buy a Williams jersey for sure until he's actually on the roster. But secondly, I don't know. Knowing me, I'll buy his jersey pretty soon, like after he's on the roster. But also, I'm so nervous that I'm gonna like curse it because it's just never gone well for us by buying the jersey. So I'm nervous. I'm gonna curse our team and and by buying a Caleb Williams jersey. So we'll see what I do. Maybe I'll just buy a DJ Moore one instead and wait till we like win a playoff game to buy Caleb Williams so I don't jinx us. This is bigger than the Packers now. This is about playoffs, championships, and about getting the Bears back to the rightful place in football glory. No, I agree 100%. That's why I said the goal is the playoffs. But me personally, we need to beat the Packers. Also because the Packers were good last year, and they're probably going to be even a little bit better this year because they have a year under their belt. So we need to beat the Packers. And I also wonder if like having some tape now on Jordan Love and what the Packers plan to do schematically wise is going to help them not have as much success. But like they dominated, and Matt LaFleur dominated in calling games last year between running and passing the football. Like he knew how to scheme people freaking open. Like he knew how to get wide receivers open. He knew how to balance the run pass, the play action. Like, they're going to be tough to beat just because of their head coach. So, and their head coach is their offensive play caller, which is why it's going to be harder to beat them. But I'm hoping for a bit more competitiveness this year between the Bears and Packers, and I'm hoping for Bears winning this year because I can't handle any more losing to the Packers, especially not here. And I think the first game is going to be at Lambeau this year because it was at the Bears this year. So unless they decide to keep it the same, then we're going to be at Lambeau to start. I don't know if we'll start the season there, but definitely most likely to the first game. Jeez, I don't even know what I'm trying to say. The first game between the Bears and the Packers, I think it's going to be at Lambeau. But regardless of where it's at, we got to win. I actually really want to go to a Lambeau game because I've never been to Lambeau Field. And I want to deck out in Bears gear and watch us win, which is even more reason why we got to win. Papa Bear must be smiling. GSH. Yeah, guys. It's sad times, but it's also times to be excited to be a Bears fan. But also, like, don't be harsh. Like, not that people necessarily are. Like, but don't be, if you're like, I don't know. Don't be super harsh on people, like, being sad that Fields is traded. Or that, you know, they're bummed that he got traded or whatever, posting about him. Like, obviously, a lot of Bears fans loved him. The last home game he played, 60,000 people at that stadium were chanting, "We want Fields." Like, he has a very large fan base here in Chicago, in the city. Like, people are going to miss him. People are going to be sad he was traded. A lot of kids that looked up to him are going to be sad. Like, don't be mean about people being sad, because I'm sad. Doesn't mean I'm not excited about the future, but I am sad that Fields is gone, because I really thought he was the dude. I thought he was going to be the starter here. And I'm bummed that he's not. And, like, that does suck. But, you know, I'm not going to sit here and, like... I also really hope when we get to the season, every play or every game that we win, like, if we beat the Packers, I really hope it's not like, LOL, Justin Fields can never do this. Because it's an entirely different, like, roster now. Entirely different situation. And I just really don't think we can bring that into the season. So let's please leave the toxicity behind, because I don't think I can handle that. But I really do wish the best for Justin Fields, and I hope he has a very successful career. And I'm very excited for the Bears going forward and having hopefully this is like the Blackhawks dynasty and the Bears go on to win for a million more years. Okay, a million is really dramatic. Hopefully the Bears go on to win for like 10 more years to come. And we become like the Chiefs where they're just constantly in playoff contention. Because that's my goal. I don't want to just like make the playoffs. I don't want to just be like a few years. We have a few like 4 good years in the playoffs. And after that, we like taper off. No, I want us to be like the Blackhawks or be like the Chiefs and be in playoff contention for years. Every year we are a threat. Every year we crush someone's hopes and dreams. And like, I'm not content with 1 Super Bowl. Let's win 5. I would be content with 1 Super Bowl. But let's win 5. Let's win 4. Let's win 10. I don't care. I want all the rings. As many fingers as I have as I want rings of Super Bowl rings. I have high aspirations for this Bears team. And I, as every other Bears fan, I think our time of waiting is over. I don't think we can wait anymore for this Bears team to finally get its crap together. I think this is probably, when you think about it, the first time in maybe ever that we've had what looks to be a good, at least on paper, right? If we're talking just on paper, a really good offense with a really good defense. We usually have one or the other, and most of the time it's defense. But this is the first time, at least like I said on paper, we have to see it all play out. The Bears have a really good defense, and we might have a really good offense. And I don't know about you guys, but I've never seen what it looks like when that happens. I wasn't alive for the 85 Bears, and I don't even think that was the case then. So I'm super stoked to see what it's going to look like when the Bears can be efficient, not just on defense, but on offense. And I really hope defensive-wise, like the carryovers and stuff continue next year. I hope that wasn't a one-year fluke thing, and I hope the players who came away with takeaways and interceptions, like we still lead the team in those, or lead the league next year in those. Because I think we need that to like continue the success of the defense. Takeaways was huge. So I think we need to see that continue into this upcoming season, but I really hope we do because, like I said, never seen a Bears team have both an offense and defense, so I'm really excited to see what that actually can do. Let's see. I agree with Mark. It's great to have you back. Thank you. Thank you for doing this live stream. Thank you guys for joining. Don't need to thank me for doing it. I mean, you're welcome, but like, thank you guys for joining. I appreciate you joining. If you guys are new and you've enjoyed it, please like and subscribe, like the stream so other people find it and they see it, even post live, it'll still be up on my YouTube channel. And like it and subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's all in my little thing here. It's all Miss Alexis Jade, MS Alexis Jade. It's all the same on all the socials. So it's real easy. Take the North and never give it back. Yeah, it's about damn time we live up to what Ryan Poles said, because at this point it's a little embarrassing that he said that and we have yet to do that. But we did beat the Lions and the Vikings, so from about 1984 to 1987, the Bears were a great team. That's the rumor that I hear. I hear we also like won a Super Bowl then. But I guess it can't be confirmed because I wasn't alive, so I wouldn't really know. I heard rumors about it from my grandpa that the Bears at one point actually like held the Lombardi trophy. I kind of think it's folklore. I don't know if I actually think it's true. So I need to see it with my own eyes. The Bears organization deserves more criticism, and to be fair, the anger amongst fans should be directed more towards them. There are no more margin of error, or they do not deserve any benefit of the doubt from us. I mean, I would quasi-agree to that. Like, I think a lot of the frustration between Bears fans with Caleb and Fields, people have taken it to a whole new different levels and the trolling and everything else. But I think a lot of it is just frustration of, like, Fields was supposed to be the guy. He was supposed to be the franchise quarterback, and now he's not. And we have to draft a rookie again. And although a lot of us are really excited about drafting a rookie, it's like we're going through this process again. And like, I would agree. I think a lot of the end of the day, the root frustration and lies with Bears fans being over it and just wanting the Bears organization to get their crap together. But I will say, it looks like with polls at GM, we're starting to do that. 85 season is the first Super Bowl I remember. Well, like I said, to me, I heard rumors, but I just think it's folklore because I haven't seen it. So I don't know. I have to wait to see it to believe it's true. Oops, this one first. Peace, bear down. Thanks for joining the live. Assume Rome doesn't fall. Who do you want for a trade down candidate? Me, I want Jared Verse. To be honest, I don't know because I haven't actually like dived into who like wide receivers and stuff. And because I would assume we'd like trade down to pick some picks in the second round. And I haven't really dived into any wide receivers. And I say specifically wide receivers because I think if we trade down, we're drafting one of the other like high second round wide receivers available. So I haven't really looked to see like who might be there at that position, but that would be my guess. And then after that, I think we'd draft like edge or O-line. That's my guess. So, but I haven't seen enough to actually know. But I just know Pulse likes his draft capital, which is why my guess is that we trade it back. All I can say is that Bears better be right. They better be right. I agree. I think most Bears fans feel that. Like, even people who were super advocating for Caleb from day one, and even like the trolls, I think everyone can agree this better be it. Like, they better be correct about Caleb Williams. He better work out. He better be the franchise QB, and this better be the last time we have to draft a rookie QB for the next like 10, 15 years. I think like 99% of Bears fans could agree on that because if we somehow allowed both Justin Fields and Caleb Williams to be drafted by this team and both of them to fail here, not necessarily fail their careers, but fail here, that is a huge mess up by the organization. Huge. That can't happen again. Thanks, Alexis. See you next time. Good evening. Thank you for joining. Have a good evening. Yeah, we'll be wrapping up here soon because I realize I have been live for almost an hour and a half already, and it is 9:30 and I haven't eaten dinner, so I don't really know what my plan is there because I don't try to eat past 7. So, didn't think that one through. But I appreciate everyone for tuning in. I am glad you guys enjoyed the live from what it seems from the comments. Like I said, more stuff here to come on my YouTube channel here, Miss Alexis Jade, where I host my lives for the Shecago Bears podcast. My ats are here. If you enjoy the stream, like I said, please like it so that YouTube knows that. And please subscribe if you want to get notifications and such when I do go live. I'm pretty stoked about the future of the Bears, and I'm excited to be doing more Bears content. I'm just, a gal who's an actor who loves the Bears and the city of Chicago. So, and Chicago sports, as you might tell from my little section down there. So, I appreciate you guys for tuning in, and I hope you all have a great night. And also, we're ending with the viewer count at 555, which I think this is the most people I've had in a live, and at least like in a moment. I don't know. Something is going on upstairs above me, as I'm sure a lot of you could probably guess. I live in an apartment. Good time to end the live. So we're ending at 555, and which is 5 is my favorite number, so I'm going to count that as luck. And thank you guys all for tuning in. I hope you all have a good night. And hello from Twitch. Thank you for joining on Twitch. Anyone who joined on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Have a good night, everyone. I hope you all enjoyed the live. And Justin Fields, respect. We're going to miss you in Chicago. I hope you have a very great long career. And I'm excited to see what the Bears have in store for the future. So Thank you guys for tuning in, and have a good rest of your night. I'm Alexis Jade, and this has been the Shecago Bears.